Getting your strap sized perfectly is very important to me as a custom leather strap maker, and it should be to you as well. You want it to fit you well, you want it to be comfortable. There's nothing like having a very fine watch and getting a new watch strap, and you might have paid some good money for it. It's beautiful, you get it, you put it on, and if it even fits and yet it's not comfortable, then it's not a fun experience at all. So I try to make my watch straps not only fit well, but be comfortable in wearing them. So sizing is very important, and I can't stress this enough that you have to get your wrist size correctly, and that's what this short video is going to be all about. You need two basic everyday household tools. That's it. A ruler and a piece of string. That's all you need. So just an everyday piece of string. This ruler just happens to have both millimeters on it and the imperial system with inches. I am an American, I live in the United States, but I have made everything ready and to set and go worldwide with millimeters and also inches listed on my sizing chart. So all you're gonna do, real simple, is you're gonna take your string, okay? Take your string and you're gonna wrap it around your wrist right where you wear your watch, okay? And where they intersect, you're gonna do it a little bit tight, not too tight, but definitely not loosely. You can see right there is where they intersect. You're gonna pinch that point so you have that as your reference, and that right there, folks, that's my wrist circumference length. That's the length. So if I lay this down right there, it's actually right at about 7 1/8 inches. 7 1/8. Right between 7 1/8, 7 1/4. So if I look on the chart, okay, 7.1 to 7.5 inches is where I fall, kind of right in the middle of there. So that means I'm a standard one strap, and my standard ones I make 115/80. Okay, that's the typical strap size for me. When I make a deployant clasp, what I typically will do is subtract a couple millimeters on each side. A deployant clasp will fit a little bit different than a traditional buckle. And with these sizes, the way these sizes are set is I always make a secondary keeper. But if you're sized properly, you should not have to use a secondary keeper. Now, some folks prefer to still have the secondary keeper utilized. And I always say if you get it sized perfectly, the point end should be coming and protruding out of the main keeper by about up to 1/4 inch, maybe up to 5/8 of an inch. So, you know, we're talking about 10 millimeters here, folks. That's it. You do not want this coming up the whole other side, the far side of your wrist. That's too long. Now, some folks like that, and they want to use that secondary keeper. And if you're one of those and you want to use the secondary keeper, please let me know. Then I will make the point end about 10 millimeters longer. I always make a secondary keeper. If you have it sized perfectly for yourself, and I do my job right, what you should be able to do, I have a quick release spring bar lug pin on here, and I'm just going to remove the buckle end. Is you would take that secondary keeper, it slides loosely up and work it over the lug pins. I've already taken it off on this watch, so you would just slide it up and take it off and then just put it back on your watch, and it's easy peasy. And then that way there's nothing, you know, going up the side of your wrist. The secondary keeper can slide, but like I said, some folks prefer to have that. Now, my system, my strap length sizing chart is based on the average lug to lug span. So the lug to lug span, I do have some calipers, and you don't need calipers. I want to show you this without the use of calipers. Goes from one lug to the other lug. So from the span between where my thumbs are, that's the lug to lug. The overall height of the watch head. If I lay this down on my millimeters from 0, this Christopher Ward Trident Mark III with is a 40 millimeter watch. It's a 40 millimeter watch. It's right at 45 lug to lug width. Okay. My Zinn 556i is a 38.5 millimeter watch. And again, I lay that down. That's right at about 44 millimeters. I have my Omega Seamaster. I can't lay it down because of this deployant clasp on here. And this is right at 45 as well. So the average, you know, with at least all of my watches, my Rolex Milgauss, all of my other watches that I have, the average is right about 45, 46 millimeters. So let's just keep it easy and say 45. That is what this system is based on. Let's say you have a watch that is a lug to lug. It's a big watch, okay? It's a big Pilot or something like that, 55 millimeters. All right, so it's 10 over. What you're gonna do, because the watch head is bigger and taller, you're not gonna need as much of a strap. So you would subtract 5 on each side if it was 55 millimeter lug to lug span, okay? So keep that in mind. I hope this helps you, and thank you for ordering.